I think one of the things he said was all of those things definitely potentially can contribute to microplastics in your system, but they're minor, right? Those, you're majoring in the minor if you're worried about the receipts and drinking from plastic water bottles. One thing I thought that he said that was interesting was that from his perspective of the things that you can do, food is probably the biggest place to go to avoid microplastics. So ultra-processed foods have apparently a ton of microplastics in them. If you eat generally a whole foods diet, organic if you can, that can be a little bit tricky.
Like processed meats, saltines, that stuff.
So the biggest thing you can do is eat a healthy diet, which is you should be doing for other reasons, obviously.
Yeah.
And then the other thing he said that I thought there are several things he said that I thought were interesting, but that a lot of the microplastics we're exposed to are coming from plastics that were put into the environment 20 years ago as they're gradually degrading, and then they make it into our groundwater and the soil, and that gets into the...
There's that delayed effect, catching it in the...
And again, this is one of like probably the top 5 people in the world in this field, basically saying, we don't know yet how bad this is going to be. It might not be all that bad. It might be really bad. The other thing I thought, he didn't talk about this in his talk, but he talked about on the podcast that was interesting is right now, again, not knowing for sure how bad the microplastics are going to be, air pollution from like forest fires and things like that is probably much more of a health concern for most people than microplastics. And so again, I think the influencers get it wrong. They prioritize the minor stuff, scare people, sometimes in order to sell people products, and don't focus on the things that really matter.